Are you intrigued by history and science that have contested explanations? Ever thought, I'm definitely smarter than my friends, but not as smart as the experts? Then join Craig and Dave as they explore the mysteries of who the why the and how the will they actually find the answers? Probably not, but they'll have a good time trying. Welcome to Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece. Another episode.
Did it.
We're like so amazed at ourselves to
I
keep
know.
putting out episodes. It's pretty good.
We've recorded twice.
Yeah. That's the best part.
Yeah.
We just keep plowing them in. Yeah, I mean, we're wearing the same clothes as the last episode. And the other two before that. So
Yeah, I'm not changing 4 times for this.
No. Yeah, no, we're excited. We got another episode we pulled from the Grail the last time. We've pulled up a topic.
Yep.
It's an interesting topic. It's weird because they think they probably know what it's from, but I don't fucking believe it.
No.
I'm just kidding.
The Eye of the Sahara.
The Eye of the Sahara.
The Richat Structure.
Yeah, Richat Structure. It's a gigantic, was it 25 miles?
20, yeah, almost 28.
Almost 28 miles in diameter.
Yeah.
Concentric circles. There's more than one. There's like a
Right.
big, like a center.
It's like a bullseye.
Thing. Yeah, it's like a bullseye, exactly. In the middle of the desert.
Yeah. The Sahara. It's on the western side of Africa in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's right on the coast, but it's not far from the coast of Africa, and it's kind of like in a valley, like some type of, it looks like from
From giant plateau on one, like the northern side of it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the theories are that it was Atlantis.
It fits descriptions
It
of,
fits-
was it Plato that wrote about Atlantis?
Yeah. Plato and some other people too.
probably
It wasn't
after him.
just yeah.
He was the first that really described it, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
what's wild is there's actually descriptions of lost cities from other parts of the ancient world.
Yeah.
On like China and all those, like they have their own stories about stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
exactly.
which we'll get into at some point.
Yeah, we will definitely.
It's in there.
But but it is an interesting place, and they say it's due to the upheaval of magmatic upheaval.
Magmatic upheaval. I had some of
And
that this morning after an
Yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
No.
That and then erosion, because the center
Is older.
is older than the outside. The
Right.
outer rings are newer.
Right.
And I think that's just because they built the center one, and then they were like, let's do the other
there's
one.
more people
There's
now.
more
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. No, but it fits the
It's the ancient Dubai.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that there has to be something there. People obviously lived in there or did something at some
course,
point. You
they
know what I
had
mean?
to
Through all this, through all this stuff. Was it Atlantis? Was it Atlantis? Who knows? But it fits the description pretty damn well.
Yeah, I mean, if there was ever a flood, a tsunami, or anything, the water got that far enough in and got trapped there.
And got trapped there, or at
Obviously.
or just a dried up. I mean, we know the Sahara was lush at one point.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't desert. It wasn't always desert.
No. Just like the Amazon wasn't always it was the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like actually I think people created that rainforest
Yeah. Yep.
accidentally.
Yeah. Accidentally. Like, oops.
Like, oh, what do you mean you dropped the groceries?
Yeah. Oops, I made a jungle.
Yeah. Now we have to sail back to Easter Island.
Yep.
That was a
But
double callback.
That was
by
a
the way.
double callback. I like that. But yeah, it is a very interesting structure. I think it's kind of cool that you can see it from space because it's 25 miles in diameter.
It's huge, and it's one of those things that happens. It looks too perfectly shaped to be natural.
And
I think that's what draws people to it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, it's like there's no way that just happened.
Yeah, oh, the Earth, it's a perfect, sir. It's perfect.
It's perfect. But all right, so let's say it's a giant underground volcano and it's like heaving the ground. It makes sense that it would come up in like a big bubble.
Yeah.
And then settle down and back. Like I get that, but
yeah.
Is it really?
Is it really?
Is it?
Yeah. Is it really? And then I thought when first looking at it too, I was like, I wonder if it's like an impact crater.
That yeah.
You know, and then that kind of eroded and made the because you have this, and that's what happens with an impact crater. You usually get, I mean, obviously the one in Arizona doesn't have it, but you get a big enough one, the ground will in the center will shoot back up.
Yeah, like if you ever see a drop of water form in slow motion, when it hits the water, like it comes back up.
Back up in the center, so you get that upheaval in the middle again. That's and then it eroded and it left these perfect circles.
Right.
You know, but I'm not a scientist, so it was Atlantis.
Or even a geologist, but
even a geologist. So it was definitely Atlantis.
It was definitely Atlantis. Had to be Atlantis.
It had to be Atlantis. Yeah.
But I think that's the curiosity about it. Is like it's so perfect and it's close to that part of the world.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about the Greeks and those philosophers talking about Atlantis. Like, it's not that far off from sailing from the Mediterranean a little out to the Atlantic, maybe down that coast.
Down that
there
close.
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows? Maybe it's from a way long. You know, when there was the water levels were way higher.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the water levels could have been way higher at that point, and then and obviously they were, because if the Sahara was lush, there were rivers, there were lakes, there were things that ran through there.
And what's to stop someone from diverting the water and intentionally flooding that area?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey, we could put water in all these little craters and live here.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, exactly. And then you would get then something happens, you have some sort of catastrophe, and I mean, granted, he says it sunk into the ocean,
right?
Like that's what Plato says. Maybe the ocean sunk,
right?
Maybe the ocean went away. You know? What I mean?
Maybe he had dyslexia and he wrote it wrong.
Yeah, he wrote it wrong. Yeah, he wasn't perfect. You ain't perfect, Plato. But
did I say it sank into the ocean? I meant the ocean sank into.
He's like, oh damn, rewrite.
It's like,
I'm not doing it.
If only I had an editor.
Yeah, but and that's something that could happen. And then you'd have years of erosion in a desert. You know what I mean? That would
just wipe out most things.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's probably a stretch.
It's a stretch. I would say it's a stretch.
That's huge. 28 miles.
It's massive.
That's huge.
Nobody's building a circle. Like nobody's like, hey,
28
we're gonna need you to dig a giant trench 28 miles in circumference.
That's wider than Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Wider than
massive.
Rhode Island. Yeah.
It's massive.
That'd be crazy. To make a 28-mile perfect circle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now we want you to make one that's 25 miles wide inside of that.
Yeah.
And then one that's 17.
And then one that's 17 just inside that one. Yeah.
And get the hose. We're going to fill it with water.
Yeah, get the hose. Yeah, buckets. They walk to the river. Maybe they walk down to the ocean, came back with buckets and just threw them in. But it's far-fetched.
They leave the ocean in these huge buckets. They get there, it's like 3 drops.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so funny. We laugh about that, but then you got places like Stonehenge, like these gigantic rocks. They're like, yeah, we got those like 200 miles away.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you build it over there then? Like what's going on? What's the matter with you people? But that's I want to know the mentality of these people. Like, what are you thinking?
But I lived up here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to move.
Yeah, exactly.
I built a fence.
Yeah, I don't have to change my address and stuff.
My family's here.
But but I mean, it's just nuts that It's just so cool. It's such a cool thing.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, when was it first discovered? Because it wasn't.
It was recent, I think.
Yeah, because they had to see it from the sky. It's
Right.
It's way too big to say, oh, that's a giant circle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So somebody had to be spotted from from the air, and like the Nazca lines almost.
Right.
And
Yeah.
You talk
that's
about that.
That's
though.
different. Those are definitely man-made.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference, and but we talk about saying, could somebody make something that big? Yes, they could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah,
but there's no Nazca lines that are 30 miles long.
No, but they're pretty damn big, and they cover a vast amount of area.
but pretty damn big and 30 miles are two different measures.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was discovered in 1965.
See, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
When we didn't go into space.
When we didn't go to space, yeah, right, yeah,
Yeah, when the Gemini 4 mission didn't launch and go into space.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, I hate those people.
But no, in my mind, it's not a man-made structure.
No.
What's more likely is that it was a man-occupied structure.
Yeah, I would
like
say
they
that.
came across like, ooh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because if you think about it, concentric circles. Pick any defensive fortress in the world in any history.
Yeah.
You want multiple lines of defense.
multiple lines of defense. Yeah,
It's already here.
yeah,
If we can get our stuff inside of this and like make this like this could be our home, like you have natural defenses built.
yeah, exactly. And
Then you can add what you need, like, let's build a causeway to get in and out. Where
Yep.
that's easy to defend one road where you've got all these giant rock walls built around you.
yeah, exactly. And you would see a group of people, an army coming over the top of
Right.
a hill. Like you'd be like, oh look, here they come.
Right.
And you got plenty of time.
They got
to,
they got 15 miles and 4 more hills to get over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We're good.
yeah. I mean, so it was definitely. I think it was definitely occupied, and it was probably at the time. You go back, like you said, at one point it was lush.
It's a different
It
environment.
was a
yeah.
different environment. There could have been water in there. Like there could have been.
And what have we
even
talked about before? Like it's a water source. Like that's where you're gonna live.
Yeah,
You're gonna live near what you need.
yeah. I'd like to know. I'm not fully versed on it because when they said it was natural, I was like, it's Atlantis. I want it to be.
Phooey.
I want it to be Atlantis,
But
but
it still could be. But
No,
it could have been like
but yeah.
we took it and made it what we wanted it to be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's
exactly.
possible.
yeah,
To me, that seems more probable.
more probable
Yeah.
than it being built.
built. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think. Yeah, exactly. I think they would just be like you said, like this is perfect.
Yeah.
Hey,
check this out.
Yeah, surrounded by a ring of mountain.
Yeah.
Well, not mountain, but I mean,
It's protected.
It's protected. It's a giant hill.
Yeah.
And if you look at, and that's like if you look at European castles and stuff, forts, that's what they did. They built
Limited access.
limited access, and they, not just moats, but they dug circular trenches around forts.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Which it made sense.
It's not going to
what you would
stop
do.
anyone,
Yeah.
but it's going to slow them down long enough for you to do what you need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So for me, like I have no reason to doubt the geologists and scientists. Like, yeah, all right, something that gigantic,
Yeah,
likely
exactly.
natural.
Yeah.
Once I you read it and like, all right, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Also, just as likely that people at some point were like, hey, this is a good spot.
Setting up shop in here.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
I declare this Atlantis.
I declare. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, no, it's true.
We need to keep those Vikings out.
Yep.
But no, it's a cool thing, and that's what I think. A lot of stuff that you'll see throughout history, like there were naturally occurring things that people just took advantage of
Yeah.
because it provided them something they needed.
So yeah, some sort of protection without having to go through the process of building something that big and doing something.
Right.
It's half of it's pre-made. You just gotta build yourself a shelter inside of that.
Yeah, adapt it to what you need. Yeah. Like which is why people found their way into caves and stuff. It's already done shelter.
Already done. Yeah, exactly.
It just makes sense.
Yep.
So, I mean, something that huge, that massive, like, who knows what it was like? It was how many hundreds of thousands of years old this thing happened?
It's actually I think it's over 1 million years. I think.
All right, so it's been around long enough for however many generations of
people to
sapiens to be like, hey, I know this spot.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I meet you at the third ring at midnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But think about that. If this been around longer than large civilizations,
Yeah.
right? And there were people in and out of there. There's a good chance that was the foundation for Atlantis stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it could, like it doesn't have to be
Could've
exact. Like Plato was a philosopher, a writer, at that time, an entertainer.
Yeah.
If you think about, like, back in those
you gotta
days,
embellish some stuff.
Of course you are.
You know. Yeah. Because it could have just been like you said, like you said, it could have been a natural formation. They could have set up a city inside the. It was big enough.
Yeah.
It was well big enough
Yep.
in the center to set something up like that. And just you had those natural defenses. It wasn't surrounded by water. It wasn't,
Right.
But it might have been accessible by water. There may have been, because if you look at it from the space, like from the the pictures from outer
satellite
space.
images,
There is a valley around it that leads to the
Which
to
was
the
carved
coast.
by something.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably water at some
Probably
point.
water at some point.
Yeah.
So it could have been accessible by water at that point, at some point, and you could have went up to the first ring,
Right.
or close enough to where you from there you could take your goods and go in
Yep.
and trade and do that stuff. But
Yeah, and if we we go along with something that you and I talk about all the time is that civilized or smart ancestors of ours have been around way longer than what's accepted. It would make sense that if people gravitated to this naturally formed place over hundreds of thousands of years or thousands of years, stories would come out of like, this is place people live. It's there's big circles.
yeah,
They knew what circles were, like, so it would make sense that story just builds and like it became something grandiose in storytelling, when in actuality it was just like, hey, we found this cool circle home.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, I wanted so they've probably not like attempted to do too much archaeological work around it because the geologists knew what it was.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, it's upheaval from.
it's a super volcano.
Yeah.
Don't stick your shovel in it.
Yeah, exactly. So they probably didn't do much.
Imagine some guy just spade shoveled and
Yeah. Oops. Oh no. Yeah. Now there's another ring.
yeah. One charred hat.
One charred hat. Yeah. But I mean, it's so they know what it was. So it's probably not as interesting for someone other than a geologist to go and look at.
Right.
Until something. I mean, it hasn't been that long.
No.
That it's been found. So
No.
it's something that they could say, okay, all of a sudden one geologist is in there because it's massive.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I found this. Then you get some, archaeologists come in there and check it out,
Right.
and maybe dig something. Who knows?
And deny it.
And deny it. Like, no, this is no. Yep.
But that's the thing, is like it's plausible in my mind that stories about Atlantis could have come from something either this place or something like it.
Yeah.
That just happened naturally. It happens all. If you think about when like the Spanish landed in South America and started like decimating the cultures there, they were telling stories about gold cities that have never been found.
Yep.
Why would you do that other than like, hey, this place is great. We need more people here.
We need more people here. Yeah.
I'm finding all this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
So it's very easy over the course of just one or two generations to create stuff. Never mind hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And it's almost that same thing too. Like they could, I mean, we know like the Inca and the Mayans and stuff. They used gold, a lot of it.
yeah, they
So they
basically
could-
gold leafed everything.
Yeah. So they could have, the Spanish could have went there and been like, these people are just loaded with gold. Like
Yeah.
these people are flush with gold.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, the streets are just lined with gold over there.
Yeah.
You gotta check it out.
Right.
You know?
It was-
And then like, even though I took most of it, I killed a bunch
there
of people.
used to be a
and took it.
wicked lot of
There used
gold
to
down
be-
there.
There used to be a ton of it. You should have seen it. It was crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so you get you get that stuff, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very interesting place.
It is.
It's really cool. Whether
Yeah.
it is what I want it to be or not.
Listen,
You know?
I think you and I are pretty realists, and if it makes sense logically, we're
Yeah.
in. But this one is like, it would be a stretch for me to think this was a man-made.
Yeah, it's too big.
To me, it's more likely it was a man-inhabited
Yeah, exactly.
space.
Yeah.
I'd love it to be something else. I think it'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it would
Chances
be really
are
cool.
it's- nah,
It's not. Yeah,
No.
there's nobody like, hey, we're gonna do, hey, dig this 30-mile trench. This, hey, what are you doing today? I got an idea.
28-mile diameter. So, what's the perimeter?
Yeah.
Like, all right, hey, we need 300 miles of quarried stone
Yeah, exactly.
from the third layer of the Earth's crust.
Yeah, exactly.
And I need it Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah. We're gonna need that ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's a stretch to say it's anything than other what
It is, but it would
it's
be, it would
other
be,
than what it is.
It would be cool if we ever found it. Like, hey, there were people that lived there, and maybe this was what spawned that
the
story
idea
of Atlantis.
the
That
idea
would
of
be
a
cool
story.
because something like that. I would love to know where that idea came from, whether it was
Yeah.
a true sunken city or whether it was spawned from something like this. I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool to find out.
Yeah, it really would.
But right now, we don't know. Maybe Josh Gates knows. You think Josh knows?
Of course, Josh knows.
Josh is like, I made those rings.
He's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like, I made those.
He walked out in the desert and just stomped his foot. He's like, rings.
rings. How many you want? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
We should end on that.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should.
Well, thanks again for joining another episode of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece. If you have your thoughts on the Richat structure and why it is Atlantis or isn't Atlantis,
Yep.
let us know. We have our social media on Facebook. You can catch us. We do have an email. It's cdscipiece@gmail.com. If you like the show, keep listening. We're on all podcast platforms, Spotify.
Yep.
If you like to watch us, YouTube's a spot to do that.
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
Like, follow, subscribe, review. Helps the show out a lot. So
Yeah.
and we're gonna keep plugging along with this, and hopefully we'll.
Should we pull another topic for when we record in a month again?
Yeah, we should.
Should we?
Yeah.
All right. I'll pluck
right.
one out this time.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. Ooh, Machu Picchu.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a real good one. I like that.
All right, so our next episode, Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
Until next time,
We'll see you there, Josh.
see you, Josh.